are coming from the, I hope I pronounce it right, the Faroe Islands. It's right?
Faroe Islands.
Faroe Islands. It's difficult for me. So I haven't looked at your app. Maybe otherwise I could pronounce it a little bit better. And they tell us something about how the world learned Faroese. And we are happy to welcome Levi, Hansen, and Allan Sonne, Sorensen.
Correct.
Thank you very much. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Well, first of all, my name is Levi Hansen, as she said, and I work for Visit Faroe Islands, which is the national tourism board in the Faroe Islands.
Yes, my name is Allan Sonne Sørensen. Is my microphone working? It is. Great. I'm actually not from the Faroe Islands. I'm from a small country up north called Denmark, and I'm very pleased to be here today. Just like our two campaigns really brought Faroe Islands to the world, we're very pleased to be able to give you a behind-the-scenes look on the two campaigns here at ITB. Thank you.
So I'm going to start off with a question. How many of you in here can pinpoint the Faroe Islands on a world map? Okay, about half of you, something like that. Well done, those of you can. And those of you who can't, shame on you. First of all, no, not shame on you. It's not strange that you can't pinpoint the Faroe Islands on a world map, because in many cases the Faroe Islands aren't even on world maps. If you Google the Faroe Islands and you look at maps, there are in some cases the Faroe Islands are just not there. It's just an ocean. So it's not strange that people all around the world don't know about the Faroe Islands. And obviously, working within tourism at Faroe Islands, our main objective is to increase people's awareness about the Faroe Islands, because obviously the first criteria for bringing people to a country is that they know that it exists, obviously. So that's what we've been working with. But a little bit about the Faroe Islands, first of all, to let you guys know that don't know so much about the Faroe Islands. They're located about halfway between Iceland and Norway, 18 small islands, and the land mass is about close to twice the size of Berlin. But whereas Berlin has 3.6 million people, we have 50,000 people in the whole country in the Faroe Islands. Fishing is our main industry, our main export industry, followed by tourism. But there's quite a large difference between the two. And fishing obviously fluctuates greatly. Fish travel, you don't really know where they're going to be going. So it's very important for us to have a second economy to stand on, another pillar, an economic pillar to stand on, so to speak. So to get people to come to the Faroe Islands, it's important that we raise people's awareness about where the country is. And to do that, we created two marketing campaigns the last 2 years that we wanted to catch people's attention with, and also the world media. And that's what we're going to tell you a little bit about here today. Yeah.
Is this the one?
Just click through that. Next, maybe.
Well, that's actually then.
All right.
Then it's.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just a short introduction. On the next slide, we'll show a film. It's not because we are lazy. I don't want to speak to you. It's just because I think this particular film, if a picture says more than 1,000 words, I hope this will say many, many more words, because this is really behind the scenes on how it all came together with the first campaign that we did for the very brave client of Faroe Islands, Sheepview.
How do you create awareness about one of the smallest, most isolated and beautiful countries in the world? A place where Google Street View hasn't even been. With a total media budget of 0. Introducing Google Street Sheep View. We mounted a 360 camera on the back of a sheep with a mobile phone and solar panels. The sheep took 360 pictures and videos, and we uploaded them to Street View through Google's API and documented the process. Then we sent out a press release together with Google Cardboard glasses. Within an hour, it was all over the news. and it went viral from there. We engaged our followers and maintained the buzz with more videos and activities. Each time we asked our followers to help and hashtag We Want Google Street View.
We want Google Street View.
We want Google Street View.
Thousands of people helped.
We want Google Street View.
We want Google Street View.
We want Google Street View.
Suddenly, one day, Google liked the project and decided to help. They supplied us with cameras and a tracker. At the same time, we developed our own special version of Street View even further. We lent out cameras so everyone could participate. People started creating ship view, horse view, skateboard view, kayak view, and even wheelbarrow view. We were proud to announce mission accomplished. And then we went viral again.
Idea to get Google to map the islands.
Solar-powered
Put a solar
camera
panel
equipment on the back of the
ship.
sheep. It's called Sheep View 360.
It's called the most beautiful islands on the planet. There's one thing you didn't know.
The islands are located north of the United Kingdom.
Has proved so successful that tourists
Population up there is just under
magical landscapes, and it is time that this hidden Nordic nation is revealed to the world. So far,
We
5
reached
sheep
more
have
than
been
40,000 times as many people as live in the Faroe Islands. Everyone was mentioning Sheep View. Sheep View proved so successful that 2 weeks into the campaign, most hotels were sold out. At the end, we didn't just get Google Street View to the Faroe Islands, we got the whole world's attention.
So when looking at on your faces, you were smiling, you were laughing, you were looking quite interested, and that is the exact reaction we were hoping for with the campaign. So it really pleases me to see that this is the reaction we got. Because primarily the campaign was developed between a creative agency in Copenhagen called Liquid Minds and a lot of other partners. My agency was also involved in distributing the campaign global, because initially we wanted to go on a global scale, but it all began with a very brave client, Faroe Islands, because there were many obstacles, there were many things that could have gone wrong, but it all just came together. And in a world where there's so much focuses on clicks and views and ratings, that the client dared to take this leap with us and focus on something truly creative and trying to combine a campaign through storytelling, and that's who we are. It's telling stories. So that's a big respect to the Faroe Islands, and the campaign has worked very well.
Thank you, Allan. It's nice of you. Is there a next slide here? Right. So ShipView was a great success. We were really happy with the results. We reached people all around the world. We increased awareness about the Faroe Islands. Many people that didn't know about the Faroe Islands before knew about the Faroe Islands afterwards. Like you saw there were over 7,000 articles were published about the project, and we got really good results. We had a lot of traffic onto our website and so forth. But most importantly, we increased the amount of visitors to come to the Faroe Islands, which is sort of, that's the main objective for us. So we saw an increase of approximately 10% in bed nights from the previous year. So that's we're really happy with that. And this sort of happened a few months after the campaign launched. We could see already that the following season was very booked. The hotel nights were very booked. But this obviously created a new challenge for us. And we know that when we travel, it's nice to know a few different words in the local language. We all know how important it is to say, where can I find a beer, or something like that. We like to learn a few words in the local language. And Google Translate is very good at that, and many people use that. But the Faroese language was not on Google Translate. And so instead of seeing this as a hindrance, we saw this as an opportunity. And we said, right, what can we do? Can we do something? Can we work with this? And so we contacted Google to see if they were willing to include the Faroese language on Google Translate. We didn't hear back from them, so what we did is we took matters into our hands again, and we created our own version, which we called Faroe Islands Translate. And I will show you now how that worked. So we created a website, and we had people go onto the website. I'll show you the website now. It's offline at the moment because the campaign is finished. So I'll sort of take you through. So they came into that site there. They saw a film about the project, about what we were trying to do. At the top of the page, if you scroll up again, people could write a phrase or a word. They pressed translate or Übersetzen, which I can't pronounce, and then one of these videos, then they would get a live video translation from a random Faroese volunteer that would respond to them. So they could both see the Faroese person responding to them, they could hear the way the words, the phrases were pronounced, and not just text sending back to them. So they would write something, press translate, and then one of these videos. So if you press, for example, they'd written "I love you," then if there was sound on that, you would hear them say "I love you" in Faroese. "Jeg elsker deg." And then after that, if you just go back one more time, press another video. So that was finished, and then people could write their email address and sign up for newsletters from our partner in this project, which was Atlantic Airways, the national airline of the Faroe Islands. So that was also a way for our partner to increase their subscribers to their newsletter. These two, if you go back to the slide again. So I think these two campaigns really show how important good content really is. We spent no money on bought media. We launched the campaigns, and we sort of watched them go viral and reach all around the world. And it sort of shows that if the story is good enough, if it's interesting enough, if it's engaging, if it has humor, then it can really go very far. Digital was obviously key for us, which I'm sure many of you are very much aware when it comes to marketing. It was a very important learning key for us afterwards, and we created engaging content that was easily shareable and directed back to our website and to the website of Atlantic Airways, our partner. So in that way, we sort of created a call to action on these different projects where people could sort of go back and find more information about the Faroe Islands and get inspired to come to the Faroe Islands. And we also saw a massive increase in the amount of people that visited our website from these two campaigns. And the result of that has also been that we see on average now that there are many more people that visit our websites on a daily basis now than compared to before. Via a blog on our website, we launched content films, and the campaigns were communicated through press releases that we sent out to media in all of our main markets. One of the ways, I don't know if you're going to get into this, but I quite like the way we started the Sheep View campaign, where we sent out these Google cardboard glasses that you saw. So what people can do is you stick your phone into this cardboard virtual reality glass, and you can sort of move around and you can see a sheep's view of the Faroe Islands. And so we sent these glasses and a press release by taxi at 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 of the top media publications in the UK and the US. So they all received a physical copy of this and not just through email. And in that way, they could sort of take these glasses and use their phone and actually try the service itself, and to see how it worked. And obviously, at the same time, we engaged the Faroese people and social media users worldwide by asking them to use the hashtags that we had done for the campaign. So hashtag we want Google Street View and hashtag Faroe Islands Translate. Well?
Oh. Yeah, so as we mentioned a few times, the most important thing, or the most important success factor of the campaign, was really this appealing story. Because we spent no money on advertising, it was all based on public relations, on social media, and on viral spreading. And that's the prerequisite for the success is, of course, that you have a very interesting story. We have this David versus Goliath story is one thing, and just to mention one, probably the key highlight here is that in total the two campaigns have reached 3 billion readers, viewers and listeners across the world. And when we started working on the project, the key goal was to go global. So that was the key strategy. We wanted it to be able to grow global, step by step, and that we achieved 3 billion readers really underlined the fact that we chose the right strategy. And we were in media like BBC, Huffington Post, Guardian, CNN, Spiegel. And the most important thing about it is that the storytelling was just like we had hoped it to be, because it was a fun story, it was a genuine story, and we also had the opportunity to show the beautiful landscape on the Faroe Islands, which was a key part of communicating the campaign. Because once you see the beautiful pictures of Faroe Islands, you just have this wanderlust, yet you want to go there. So that was the key visual all the time. Yeah, and also regarding the awards, that is quite a funny thing. I've always said awards are not that important, but suddenly when you start winning awards, they become very important. So of course, the key number is we got out in the world, we told the story about Faroe Islands, we have a lot of tourists coming in, there's a lot of positive buzz, and it's just nice to have a testament that we had a successful campaign. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are a few different key learning points from the campaigns that we've learned. So product promotion can work well for destinations, and that's something that we also work with. But we do feel that storytelling is king. So instead of communicating, quote, sort of beautiful nature through sort of regular product promotion, we told a story, and we sort of let the sheep do the talking, especially obviously in the first campaign that we did. We also focused on content, and if we had, if you have a great story, then try and get humor into it, because that always works really, really well. And I think both of our campaigns have shown that. Engaging the locals was also a really key learning point. We engaged the local sheep, and they cooperated nicely, which we're very happy with. But also the Faroese people for the second campaign, the Faroe Islands Translate campaign, where we got so many different people from volunteers from the Faroe Islands to help us with the campaign. So we created something, and they sort of took over. I think this is also really important when it comes to sort of the internal development side of things. It's important that we engage the locals so that they also feel that they're a part of this, so that they also feel that when tourists come to their country, that they are hospitable and they want them to be there. And the more you engage with them in a positive way like this, the more positive they'll be when it comes to interacting with tourists. Another key point was to divide the campaign into waves to maximize PR. So we had 3 waves of PR for the campaigns. The first wave was, right, Google won't listen to us. They don't want to put us on Street View, and they're not going to include us on Faroe Islands Translate just by us asking. So we need to do something about this. So that was the first story, the first PR wave. Secondly, Google suddenly listened to us, And again, that was another story in itself. So that created another wave of PR. And then, so that was obviously for the Sheep View campaign. For the Faroe Islands Translate campaign, we're currently in dialogue with Google about including the Faroese language. So that's, yeah, watch this space. Hopefully soon you can go on Google Translate as well. And then the third wave was when Google listened, and we're now part of their platform. So again, with Street View. So now, a year after we did the campaign, the Faroe Islands are now on Google Street View. So again, that was another wave of PR. So we created a campaign, and a year later, we were again in media all around the world from that original campaign that we did a year before. And I think that's a really good way of doing things, trying to break it up into and creating a campaign that you know can last a lot longer than just a week or two or a month. And we still get, my colleagues and I, we still get requests from journalists and from people interested in the campaign asking, can I interview you about the Faroe Islands or the Google Translate, the Sheep View campaign, sorry. So it's two campaigns, so I'm running back and forth in my mind. So that was a really key thing as well. And finally, we activated ambassadors as well, the Faroese people to take part in the campaign. So like I said, engaging the locals. And this is, yeah, I think that was a really important point that we learned, how important that was. Yeah, do you have anything to add, Allan?
I just hope we'll get a lot of questions. Let's see.
Yeah, I hope at least it was interesting and hopefully useful, maybe inspiring, and obviously we hope to see you in the Faroe Islands at some point. But yeah, you're welcome to come with any questions if you have any. No?
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Are there questions? First of all, are there questions? I really liked your introduction with the film with the sheeps and the sheep view and the horse view. Great. I will look it up.
Great.
So, thank you for sharing your insights with us.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.